With the release of the second Black Panther film, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been introduced to the newest young superhero, Riri Williams, also known as Ironheart. This character is said to be the spiritual successor to Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. While many fans are skeptical of Ironheart, played by Dominic Thorne, Downey Jr. himself appears to be a big fan. In this video, we will not only be covering what RDJ himself had to say about Thorne's new character, but we'll be doing a deep dive into the character of Riri Williams, as well as a sneak peek into the MCU's plans for Ironheart, to find out what Downey Jr. had to say, as well as everything there is to know about the new character. Stay tuned till the end of the video. First off, who is the character of Riri Williams? With the recent release of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, fans were introduced to several new characters to begin learning more about. Aside from the character who is the focus of this video, fans also got their first glimpse of Namor the Submariner. This character is the ruler of the underwater world known as Talokan, and has been around in the comics for almost as long as some of the universe's most popular characters, like Iron Man and Thor. Being an often overlooked character, die-hard fans of the comics were likely thrilled to see the Submariner get his big screen debut. Unfortunately, his appearance was largely overshadowed by the introduction of a much newer character, Riri Williams, also known as Ironheart. Although we only got a small glimpse into this new character, we'll be exploring what we know about her so far. The character is played by Dominic Thorne, who is a 19-year-old student at MIT and is already a wickedly talented engineer. Her ability in the film amazes Shuri, even though it's only the beginning of what she will likely eventually offer. Being the spiritual successor to Tony Stark's Iron Man, the character has some seriously big shoes to fill, especially considering this character was the one who launched the entire MCU we know and love today. Although the character is still brand new to the cinematic universe, she has already earned a place in the hearts of fans that will likely only grow as the character continues to get more screen time. With that being said, what are Marvel's current plans for the character of Riri Williams? Next, what are Marvel's plans for the character of Ironheart? While Thorne's appearance as Ironheart in Wakanda Forever was certainly an excellent way to introduce the character, fans are already hungry for more of the young genius. Luckily for fans of the character, there is much more coming on the horizon. There is currently a Disney Plus series in the works called Ironheart, which will focus solely on the character of Riri Williams and her growth as the newest superhero in the MCU. Thorne herself has gone on record saying that Wakanda Forever only showed a sliver of who Riri Williams really is. This should get fans excited for the sequel, as it will likely go well in depth into the character who we still know very little about. Unfortunately for fans who are desperately eager to see more of Ironheart, the series is not set to be released until late next year. This means for now, the only place to get more of Ironheart is through the comics, or by rewatching the Black Panther sequel, with Dominic Thorne being the spiritual successor of Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. Fans will be interested to hear what RDJ had to say about his young protege. Before we reveal exactly what RDJ said about Thorne, you may be wondering if he's given any guidance to any other new MCU stars.
Let's go to you.
Moving on, has RDJ provided any guidance to any other new MCU stars? While Dominic Thorne is one of the most recent additions to the MCU, the universe has grown rapidly over the last several years. With all the different shows being launched on Disney Plus, it feels like new characters are being introduced almost every week. For a while, Robert Downey Jr. was the only one in the universe, so he appears to many as the father figure of the entire multi-billion-dollar series of films and TV shows. Therefore, with all his experience, it would make sense that he could provide some guidance to newcomers in the franchise. One of these newcomers was Star Wars actor Oscar Isaac, who took on the role of Moon Knight in the recent series. Being friends with Downey Jr. in real life, Isaac reportedly frequently reached out to the Iron Man actor for advice on his new role. He would explain that understanding Downey Jr.'s process of acting as a superhero was very helpful in taking on the challenging role. He went on to say that Downey Jr. is a huge inspiration for him as an actor, especially in the role of a superhero because, in his words, that first Iron Man movie is just so good. While Downey Jr. was certainly helpful to Isaac in his role as Moon Knight, up until now, it's been unclear if he's provided much guidance to other MCU newcomers. This is, of course, not counting Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who is the on-screen underling of Tony Stark in his first several appearances. It's been confirmed, however, that Downey Jr. had some words to share with the young actress playing Riri Williams. So, what was it that RDJ said to Dominic Thorne? So, what did Robert Downey Jr. have to say to the young actress? Dominique Thorne, in a recent interview, would explain the process of how she got in contact with the legendary Iron Man actor. She explained that their interaction took place near the end of filming Wakanda Forever, when most of her scenes were already completed. She explained that one of her fellow castmates on the Ironheart series had worked with Downey Jr. in the past and was able to get the two in touch with each other. She would go on to explain that Downey Jr. was able to give her advice on the character befitting his role in the MCU as a true leader. She would say he had some beautiful words to say about how much he believes that Riri Williams is and should always be her own person, her own thing, that this legacy is headed in the right direction, and all the beautiful encouraging things that you hope to hear from the Iron Man himself. It's great to hear that Downey Jr. appears to fully believe not only in the character of Riri Williams, but in Dominique Thorne to portray her effectively as well. It appears that he believes the character is her own entity, apart from Iron Man, and with the rebellious spirit that drove many of Tony Stark's appearances on screen. It's clear he wouldn't want it any other way. With that being said, will Robert Downey Jr. be making any appearances in the Ironheart series to be an on-screen mentor to Williams, as well as an off-screen one for Thorne? Finally, will Robert Downey Jr. be appearing in the Ironheart series? In many ways, it would make complete sense for Robert Downey Jr. to appear in some capacity in the Ironheart series as Tony Stark, to act as a mentor to Williams Ironheart. Although the actor reportedly retired from the MCU with his final appearance in Avengers Endgame, his spirit has still been present, most notably in the aforementioned Spider-Man films. Although Stark is dead in the universe, with everything that's been going on in the multiverse recently, a resurrection is certainly not out of the question. With that being said, showrunners wouldn't have to go that far to include Downey Jr. in the show, should they be so inclined. In the comics, Tony Stark is the voice of Riri's AI, similar to the original Iron Man's Jarvis. This means there would be room for RDJ to appear in a voice-only role, who could provide a level of guidance to Riri in her role as his successor. With that being said, Ironheart should be a series that focuses on the character of Riri Williams as her own person and her own thing, just as RDJ said when talking to Thorne. As of right now, it appears any appearance by the original Iron Man actor, even in a voiceover-only capacity, would overshadow the growth of Williams' character as an individual. While it doesn't appear that the MCU has any current plans to bring Tony Stark back from the dead, that doesn't mean it wouldn't be worth doing in the future, especially once Ironheart is a more established character. With the recent news that the upcoming Iron Wars will receive a theatrical release instead of being a Disney Plus series, that may be a sign that producers have big RDJ-related plans for the future. For right now, fans will just have to wait and see and enjoy the process of Riri Williams growing as her own individual character. Are you excited for the Ironheart series? Have you checked out Wakanda Forever yet? If so, what did you think of the movie? And what do you think about Robert Downey Jr. potentially returning to the MCU? Do you think it'll be worthwhile, or should Tony Stark stay dead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.